Oh, weird. Jeez. To replace the flooring in a old van that we've done. So I just removed all of their old flooring with a multi-tool and carefully removed it because they have like the floor heating mats, so you don't want to damage those. And now we're cutting out some wood to get it level, and then we will be putting the lawn seal on top.
Receptacle on the side there and 2 switches. I believe these are going to be for individual light strips for each battery. No? What's it for?
The 2 lights are together. The other one is a light that can be in this.
Oh, in this section? I'll talk about the electrical a bit more tomorrow when he's doing all the wiring. I'd like to say the hard part's done. Wiring it all, laying it all up takes time. Now wiring it up probably take equally as long, but majority of people wouldn't expect that the layout and making sure everything's perfect is such kind of labor intensive, but it is. That van we got back that's up front, we're just making a new toilet bench seat. Essentially their bench seat, they just didn't like how big it is. They said they don't use it as much, so we're stepping it in, narrowing it in. So we're just laying up here. It's gonna cure overnight. As you can see, it's a laminated edge there, and then kind of the exposed Baltic birch edge there. I'm just letting that glue up and cure, that 45 cut there. So a lot of the stuff in woodworking that we do, at least, you have to like cure overnight. I'll do a video in depth of kind of the edge bander, how we lay stuff up, do time lapses. This van will slowly start coming together. I just cannot stop looking at that rig. We've done a lot of rigs with cool exterior accessories. That is one of the most badass, jacked up rigs we've done to date, and I love it. So yeah, it's about 2 years and getting some needed upgrades, which is a good thing when clients come back for upgrades. And some, if there is any kind of fixes, they're not urgent fixes where, hey, my system's leaking or my electrical doesn't work. They wanted a water fill for this tank under here, so this is a spare water tank. It's literally just meant to hold water, so the way you get it out is just that valve down here. Their thought process was like kind of long trips in the desert, dog water, and just kind of emergency backup water in that spare tire carrier. And I believe what Wilson's working on here is we have the perfect example of creating access panels up top. So they're upgrading to a Starlink Mini, where their old one was, I think the original like Gen 1, Gen 2. Which is 110 powered. So this is upgrading to the Starlink Mini, running the 12 volt power up there. And then up front, we are adding a water level sensor to the gray water tank, which honestly we normally don't do. Clients requested it. So that's being ran from under the van and will go into the servo. The van that's in the back, the commercial build we're doing, that's over at Branded Wraps right now, getting a full wrap. Maybe I'll pop in there once they're working and show you guys a bit of that and their whole work process. And then our company builds outside. We're kind of holding off on honestly, I'm bringing that in because we just don't have anyone to work on it. And then next Monday, we're getting another client's van coming in. Theirs is about 3-4 years old. Gonna do some nice TLC on that. And then end of this month, probably in 2 weeks and end of this month, we're getting 2 more full builds, a 170 Sprinter, 144 Sprinter. And yeah, we'll go from there. I'm going home for the night. I will see y'all tomorrow. I'll fill you guys in. We skipped over a lot of the boring stuff, but I'll give you an explanation just to give you an idea of how long this stuff takes to lay this out properly. And I mean, all the holes in this cabinet, all of the mounting plates for the inverter, kind of all the holes to get all the wire through, as you can see there, down there, creating the box for the AC panel. How long do you think this is taking? 20 hours? Yeah. 14 to 20. So it's not just a matter of throwing stuff in there if you want it pretty. I mean, and then even if you rush it and throw everything in there, you're gonna spend a lot more time wiring it up. Things are gonna be unorganized, and troubleshooting in the future will be next to impossible. Got holes in the top for ventilation of certain products. Got the fan up here, and then we also added ways to fasten these batteries using their factory brackets. So these are fastened in right now, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, without any sort of lip in the front. Yeah, this is way too nice for chrome. Have you been updating them with what you're working on?
There's a lot of video clips of me doing things.
So what have you been working on all day?
The floor. Now I'm doing the trim.
Finishing off the trim. So we're giving them new lawn seal flooring, and then just all the finicky trim work.
I'm just too shy to talk to the camera.
Kumo's not shy.
He is though.
I know he is.
A little bit, look at him.
He just doesn't know how to show it.
He's hiding. Alright, I'm going to dive deep and explain to you guys the electrical. He's been hard at work in it. I don't really want to distract him. It takes a lot of brain power. Yeah, I'm going to do a pretty in-depth summary. But right now, garbage is building up. I'm going to do a quick garbage run. Got to do a garbage run. I'll be honest, van conversion shops produce a lot of garbage. There's no hiding that. We try to recycle. A lot of this is recycle where appropriate. But we do make up for that. If you go on our website, 1% of every build. All the profits from... Everyone's judging me right now. I can't vlog freely in my own shop. I'm getting stink eyes from all the employees right now. Anyways, that's our loud whistling door. We deal with that every day too. It's beautiful. What I was gonna say is, as a van conversion company, we do produce a lot of garbage. But we also do, if you go on our website, it's a pretty cool write-up. We do donate 1% profits of every van build to CPAWS. So that's a pretty cool organization in Canada that donates money and to multiple kind of organization and resources to protect national parks and kind of protect the land from being like developed on and kind of letting van lifers and people still enjoy it. So it's pretty cool. So we do that. So we are sorry for the amount of garbage we produce, right? All honesty on this channel. Alrighty, and we'll be right back. The floor is left to cure. And what do we still have the silicone around all the edges?
Yeah, I'm gonna silicone. There is a transition piece we're gonna put.
Yeah, there's gonna be a transition. We had to leave the original garage flooring in and put this over top, which is fine because I was holding up perfectly. And honestly, we'll not see this floor until it's pulled out. We had to cut the seam right there, so we're gonna put a nice matching kind of champagne colored transition piece. We're waiting on some 3M VHB adhesive for the custom lift up rack that was made. We got the solar panels up there, most of them all laid out, and tomorrow we should get the VHB adhesive to do that. Gray water level sensor being added underneath the van. We're just waiting on one plumbing fitting, should arrive tomorrow with that. And then again, just a million things. We're going to service their S-Bar diesel heater, and out of all of our stock, the only seal we didn't have, we ran out of, was their heater. So got to next day ship that, and hopefully receive that by the end of this week and start getting them on their way. They don't go to show we're not perfect. I take full blame for this. Electrical's all in. Thank God we caught it. Oh, thank God they caught it. He's missing something on the side of his van. You should be seeing one of these, which is a shore power. So thank God we caught it in time. We're gonna drill a hole, install this guy on the side prior to getting too deep into the electrical. A lot of connections. Now it's just the tedious stuff. You not want a seat?
Yes.
You want me to get you one?
I know, I already changed position 3 times.
All the wires, his amp's gonna go under here. A lot of his kind of speaker wires, sound system. I think I showed this. I have 2 switches on the faceplate here. Andy still has to make a physical faceplate for this. We're kind of just winging it as we go. Joking, we aren't. I need to get caught up with a few more emails. Try to spend time in the shop, but honestly, the whole time I'm down there, sometimes I just get in people's way, and the shop doesn't need me. This is another inside scoop. This is another day's worth of receipts. My bookkeeper has been a bookkeeper for like 20, 30 years. For kind of small businesses, it's not like multi-million-dollar corporations. A van conversion business, she says, she's never seen more receipts in her life. It is funny because you're doing these big expensive projects and there are so many parts and components involved. As a van builder, you're almost like the final end user for quality control for 150 different suppliers. It can be stressful in that aspect, but the ordering process can be tedious. Like literally when we get a deposit to start like a pretty complex van build and I sit down to order, day and a half to get everything we need ordered. It's not that fun, I can tell you that. If any of you guys care too, I got a new tattoo the other day. Can't really see, but it's 2 cactuses. Why did I get 2 cactuses? Zero clue. I mean, I could say I do like Arizona, Utah, kind of the Midwest, more so West Coast of the US. The deserty areas, Arizona, Moab, Utah, kind of Arches National Park. That whole area is sweet. I've almost been to every state but a lot of the south. So we've went across North America multiple times, across the middle of the US twice. Then we took the northern route once. We have not went the southern route. So like hitting kind of, I guess, Texas and coming back up through like New Mexico and stuff. We've almost been to every state. That's something I still want to check off my bucket list. Again, just funny things. I don't think I'm sharing any public information. $310 USD for some adhesive. I got my new, what did I get? I ordered something on Amazon. Amazon is my best friend for little things and office supplies. I think this is just for client pickups on finalized invoices. I can put a little paid stamp. Let me test this out. Cool. $10 from Amazon. God, that's fun. All right, on a serious note, I'm gonna get to work, do a couple emails, and before I go, I wanna wrap this video up. I think we have enough footage, but I wanna do a deep dive of Chrome's electrical system and just kind of explain everything, the process around everything. If that's boring to you guys, thanks for watching this far, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are here, so stick around to the end, and that is exactly what you'll see. Oh, one more thing too. The comments for stickers, giving away stickers, it'll probably be next video I announce them, because I wanna end this video today. And that video still hasn't even been live for like 8 hours. I uploaded it today. I don't know how it works when you're watching this. But I'm gonna see right now in that newest video, there's over 200 comments. So I'll give it till around tomorrow morning and I'll kind of cut that off and I'll film myself drawing the winners. But that will be on, not this video, the next video you see. So stay tuned for that. All right, I'm gonna give you a bit of a, I'm going to use Chrome's new electrical lighting for this video. I'm just going to give you a rundown for all you people interested in electrical and the actual just overall process. Now, obviously, a lot of this time can get cut in half for, I guess, overall aesthetics and functionality and the work that goes into it. I think we talked about this. Just overall labor and kind of holes created. I mean, this was a big job, flush mounting this light track, because these batteries are essentially like suction fit. There's no room for anything else. Even to the point where you can see in there, just to run the wire to attach the batteries, you have the countersink. So this whole cabinet had to come apart and do all the ventilation for that. You can see the thinking through process of, example, for holes here, knowing you're gonna have big wires come across, the wires come through, because this ideally will have a face on it, so nothing can overhang this. So all the holes for your battery connections, holes for wires to come through. If you look back there, laying out holes for all the DC panels to come through, creating a box for your breaker, your AC breakers, creating a mounting plate for this to sit on, making sure you have enough room above to take it off to service it, enough room below, even making sure you have room to remove this cover if you ever need access below here. Everything has to be thought through. There's some venting up top for heat. Obviously heat rises. We have the built-in fan. Again, more venting. Mounting of these batteries. We did the mounts from the, can't see this, through bolts in the back. These get bolted through from the top, I believe, with wood nut inserts. This is about 3 days of work so far. So yeah, probably 18 to 20 hours into this. And then again, just meticulously labeling everything. This is kind of the mind-numbing stuff, but you do have to think this through. So everything's been crimped, heat shrunk, nice connections there. All the connections we use have like a resin inside, so I don't know if you can see that, if it focuses, but it kind of melts out. So these are fully water resistant, even though you should never have water in here. Funny enough, a lot of the components we use are all IP67, IP68 rated, I believe, especially like Blue Sea components. Even down to the wiring. This is a marine grade wiring, so wire is Anchor. If you look into the end of that, it sucks for scrappers because this is tin coated copper and it's pretty much dirty and you can't really get good value for it, but it's more expensive than copper, so it has the tin coating on it, so it doesn't oxidize. Again, for marine grade saltwater environments. A good rule of thumb when building vans is if there's a marine version of it, always get that. The engineering and R&D that goes into marine products is going to be significantly more vigorous than, in my opinion, any other industries. They're building stuff for, you think vans are moving an earthquake, being a few $1 million yacht in the middle of the ocean with huge swells and 30-40 knots of wind, like that stuff has to stand the test of time. Not to mention a lot of their components are going to get exposed to the elements, salt waters, humidity, heat. So anywhere you can use marine grade is good. And yeah, I'll give you a rundown. We've never used SOK batteries, but I have heard good things about them. So not an issue using these. I'm actually excited to use them. And then all these other components we are very familiar with. As a builder, it's a common question. We don't use client supplied components. We make an exception for chrome. And if we do use client supplied components, let's say you already have stuff purchased, it has to be a brand we're willing to use and work with. Because I have a list of horror stories of other components that we are just not willing to work with anymore. So Victron is amazing. They've been in the industry over 50 years. It's kind of a power conversion company. So yeah, running through this quickly, you have all your batteries here. This right here is a Lynx power in. This is pretty much a 4-prong fancy bus bar. So this can handle 1,000 amps of current. It's all protected. You take this cover off and you have 4 fuse holders. You can actually do the main system ground here. So think of this as like your new battery. When these systems get super complicated, you're never actually attaching stuff to the batteries. You can't stack up, 100 lugs on this thing, right? So you bring the power from the batteries to your bus bar and then everything attaches to here. Coming off that, you'll still have your main shut off for the system. This is a bit repetitive on batteries like this where you can shut them off this way. It's just another layer of protection, another layer of kind of serviceability. We have paired together 2 Orion 50 amp chargers, the charge controller. There is a lot of accessories going in this van, so there's a lot of scenarios where in theory we could fit all this on just one DC panel, but ideally you're not lumping stuff together. So you can individually fuse things. We still will lump some things together, like if he has 2 Caframo fans, we'll put them both on the same fuse. Just gets a bit easier. Yeah, a lot of components, right? So this is a question we get too, like the vans we do. This isn't uncommon, the stuff Chrome has in his build. You're not hooking all this up to a Jackery. So big power here. This is a servo. You can kind of look into that. This is like the brains of the system, which pairs with that fancy touchscreen. In here will be the AC panel. So that's like a typical breaker panel, essentially you can find in your basements of your houses, right? If you trip something in a receptacle, you pull too much power, breaker's tripping. What else here? You got your main system fuse. That's the big A&L style fuse there. That's what's protecting essentially the wire for these batteries, but it's the big protected fuse between the batteries. This is your inverter. So this is what converts. This is inverter charger actually. So this converts your DC power in your batteries and converts it to AC power to be able to run things like your microwave, your Breville oven, essentially any of your 110, 120 receptacles. This is also a charger, so this can take up to 50 amps of AC power in. He's gonna have a 30 amp shore power on the side. So you'll be able to, the max DC charging capacity of this is 120 amps, I believe, DC, which you can pretty much hit at around 20 amps of AC current. But the benefit to having essentially 30 amps is, in theory, you'll be able to charge this system if you're plugged into an RV or if you have a 30 amp hookup at your house. You'll be able to charge your batteries at 120 amps because that's the max it can charge DC current for a 12 volt system. But you'll still be able to also run an air conditioner and power all this other stuff and not drain your batteries. You'll still be charging your batteries, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, your solar will have a breaker. There's a lot. There's these two thick wires here which will run under the van for your alternator charging for those two Orions. We did the math. Instead of running 4 wires to the front, we only have to run 2. And then this is all the chrome speaker stuff under there. Anyways, I could go on for days. I'm excited to see this kind of when it's all done, wired up. This is the exciting part. Other than that, that's about it for this video. If you've enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, and we will see you guys in the next one. Adios.